What's up, y'all? I hope y'all having a good night. So I just wanted to cover something real quick. I'm not gonna be on here too long, but I did want to get my 2 cents on this. So the city council approves 51 million in funding for migrant housing. If y'all have not heard about that, so before we start, I just want to go ahead and play this video. Give me 1 second. Let me share my screen.
The vote. I'm ready to get kicked out. It's a damn shame. I bet you when reparations come up to vote, it better be yay, just like this.
So this is one of the city council's meetings back in June. Even back then, people were not feeling this move with the migrants coming into the neighborhood. Um, Black people having to use their taxes to pay for migrant housing and all these incentives for migrants when they're not getting anything in return. These are black taxpayers and they don't even get this type of treatment. They're not getting housing. For them, it's 61 schools in Chicago that are shut down right now. I know people that's in Chicago that's working 3 jobs just to make a living. And yet, we're taxpayers and we're not, they're taxpayers and they're not getting any of these incentives. Now, the same thing is going on in New York as well, something very similar. You have the migrants up there to where they are going to build housing for the migrants up there. Now, a lot of the migrants there just recently got evicted because it's some more migrants coming up, and they said, they want to basically put migrants with families first, with kids. They want to put them first. So they ended up kicking a lot of the migrants out. So a lot of them migrants have no place to stay. They're out on the street. They have no job, no income. So you know what that leads to, right? That leads to criminal activity. They end up getting desperate. They don't have anything. So guess what? It's going to be an increase in criminal activity up there in New York. Not only that, I could see that happening in Chicago as well.
When reparations come up to vote, I'm ready to get kicked out now. When reparations hit this vote, y'all got it off.
And she most definitely has a reason to be mad because she's right. Every time black people bring up reparations, something that's going to help build us economically, it's an issue. They don't have the money. But when it comes to these other groups, they're pulling money out their ass like it's nothing. When it's time to send money to Ukraine, they pulling money out their ass like it's nothing. So yeah, I can most definitely see why this lady here is mad.
I'm ready to go. These are our touchstones being used to free everybody else except black people. You sending our money to Ukraine, to Mexico. And we don't let black women in their borders, FYI, in the Ukraine. Homeless black women can't get through the borders in the Ukraine, and we send money there.
In fact, she's speaking none but facts. And this is how a lot of black people are feeling. Like you sending all this money elsewhere, but you can't do nothing to help us. And specifically for us. So I most definitely feel their frustration. I most definitely feel their pain.
I'll tell you I'm going. Y'all so lost. It's not even funny. It's We sick of it. Children coming up missing on the border, and Mexicans don't even talk about it. Y'all.
So what she's talking about here is there was a lot of children missing coming across the border. There has been a lot of migrant children that has been raped by multiple men to where they found multiple men's DNA inside these young women. And then it's a lot of these kids that's being used for trafficking. So what she's saying is, why are they not speaking out for their own community when they're crossing these borders, when all these children um ends up missing and ends up getting trafficked? That's what she's
Don't even
saying.
tell the president to close the border. Close it. Y'all sorry as hell up you are. You are sorry. Sorry as hell. You let children be murdered and raped and sex trafficked on the border. And not.
And she's speaking nothing but facts. And they don't really have nothing to say to that. So what they try to do, they try to get the police to remove her, but she's speaking nothing but facts. I mean, like they letting all this go on, and like opening the borders, it's not benefiting nobody in Black America. And like I said, I don't have no issue with immigrants. It's just like illegal migrants, it doesn't it doesn't benefit Black Americans. It's hurting us at this point, especially if they're dropping us. I mean, if they're dropping them in our neighborhoods to where they're using our resources, and then we have to pay our tax dollars for them. So, she has every right to be mad. And then on top of that, the kids that's coming across these borders, they're getting trafficked. They're getting trafficked. A lot of them have been raped, abused. So it's all type of stuff that's going on.
You Mexicans are saying anything. I'm quiet in here. You full of shit. That's right.
And as you can see, they clapping for it because she told nothing but facts there. Um, she told nothing but facts. So let me share this other screen with y'all. Give me 1 second. Like I said, this is not gonna be too long. I just want to do my reaction to a few of these videos of what's going on here in Illinois, because somebody wanted me to speak on this, so I'm just giving my 2 cents. So here goes another video. So I'm gonna react to this as well.
Emotional outbursts, at times so heated, police had to step in. We're talking about city council today and a vote to spend $51 million on helping migrants here in Chicago. CBS 2 political investigator Dana Kosloff was there for all the action, and Dana, strong feelings all around.
Yeah, Erica, and for many different reasons, among them the fact that this $51 million approved today is only a short-term fix, and more money will be needed in just weeks.
So you heard that this is only a short-term fix. So $51 million in just a short-term fix, and then more money is going to be needed in weeks. So they have every right to be angry because, like I said before, it's 61 schools in Chicago that's shut down right now. The Black residents is already going through their own issues. The cost of living in Chicago is very high, and the Black residents are not receiving any type of incentives. They're not receiving any type of help, and this is just a short-term thing. This is only for weeks. So what's going to happen after these weeks is over? Y'all just going to drop another $51 million?
We cannot continue to falsely pit communities against one another.
Deep emotional wounds coming to the surface.
As Black people who have been hurt continuously by the city and country it loves, it ain't our responsibility to take care of everybody else.
And anger.
We don't want to have to recall anybody. We don't want to have to protest anybody, but we are not going to be ignored, Brandon, Mayor Johnson.
Many in Chicago.
So yeah, a lot of people are not feeling this new mayor Brandon Johnson. And don't get me wrong, a lot of people feel some type of way about Lori Lightfoot as well. They feel some type of way about Lori Lightfoot, but it seems like this new Mayor Brandon Johnson, is pissing off people even more. Um, and people is not feeling him. Black people not feeling him.
Chicago's Black community and the city council speaking out against spending $51 million to house migrants, asking when will the help for them finally become a reality.
And it cannot be put on the backs of the residents of Chicago without showing them that they're getting something out of this.
Mayor Brandon Johnson, presiding over his second full city council meeting, had to ask for calm more than once.
With a sergeant of arms.
So how can you tell these people to be calm and basically you using all this money to support foreigners when they're using their tax dollars for this, and you're not giving them any type of incentives, you're not doing anything for them, so they have every right to be angry.
Please restore some order.
Police also intervening at one point to allow the meeting to proceed. Ultimately, the measure passed with 34 votes. Many who voted to approve the money, like 49th Ward Alderwoman Maria Haddon, call this an immediate crisis that needs attention. But, she says, so do concerns of the city's Black residents.
Why are Black people in Chicago and some communities so angry? Why is all this kind of anti-immigrant sentiment coming up? And I want to explain to folks, it's because if we cared as much about Black people and had over the decades as we do about everyone else, we wouldn't be here.
But the money from a 2021 budget surplus will only last 1 month. Many alderpeople say it's time for a long-term plan and some state and federal help. With that, should taxpayers be...
So this will only last 1 month. So I don't see the point of approving this. What's the point of approving this? This is a short-term thing. Like what's the point of this? Where is this going to go? And why does taxpayers have to use their resources for this?
concerned?
I think we should all be concerned anytime we're having to utilize this level of resources on a temporary situation, especially with not a real sight of federal support coming.
Hours after the meeting, Mayor Brandon Johnson offered no specifics.
We're going to have to dig in a little bit deeper in the city of Chicago, but that's going to be a collaborative approach.
As for a timeline for a long-term plan to deal with this issue, there isn't one. I'm live outside Chicago City Hall in the Loop. Dana Kozlov, CBS 2 News.
Oh wow, that's sad. So you got this going on in Chicago, and you have this going on in New York as well. The people in New York, they feel the same way, because it's just like, man, we have all these migrants just coming over here, and they want us to use our resources, but at the same time, we have homeless people in America. We have people that's struggling in America. We have Black people. Like the lady said, every time we bring up reparations, it's a problem. Y'all don't have it. But when it comes to everybody else, y'all just able to pull it out y'all ass. So one more thing, right? And I know y'all heard about this, right? Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I just wanted to give my 2 cents on one more thing, right? Now, hold up. This is from Fox News, so it is gonna have a right wing point of view, but I'm coming with this from a point of view of how it's going to affect black people. So let's get into this.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker signing 130 bills into law on Friday. One of
Now, later on down the line in the near future, I'm going to I want to do a live breaking down these laws and saying talking about like exactly what they're doing and exactly what they're implementing.
them will allow non-citizens to serve on the state's police force. Anthony Napolitano is a Chicago alderman and former Chicago police officer, and he
So now they're gonna have these migrants be able to become police officers. So you're going to be spending your tax dollars on these migrants to police you. And what's going to be done and how this is going to be done. They're going to incentivize these migrants, right? They're going to incentivize them to undermine black people. They're going to use these migrants as a class to actually replace black people. And you're going to see by the end of this video, I'm about to break it down.
He joins me now. Good morning to you. Got a lot going on in Illinois with 130 bills signed into law in one day. But this measure that would allow non-citizens to become police officers, who exactly are we talking about here?
You know, they say it's dedicated more towards the DACA folks that have come into the country. You know, and this is just another statement that Illinois is always trying to be the most progressive state that there is. And nothing's ever done for the Illinois people. It's always done for political agenda. And, you know, this is going to set a standard now that you're going to be looking at non-residents, non-citizens of the United States that are going to be locking up citizens of the United States. This is a mouthful for Illinois folks to swallow right now. Doesn't seem like it's done in the best intention of people from Illinois or even from this country.
Yet a Fraternal Order of Police released a statement. They're against this measure as well. They say, what message does this legislation send?
So you do have the Fraternal Order of Police. They don't agree with this, but Governor Pritzker said, "Hey, he gonna do what he do," and I'm pretty sure like a lot of the Illinois citizens don't agree with this. Even the black citizens, like we not feeling this because they're not even citizens. Sure, like I said, it's nothing wrong with immigrants, but if you're not even a citizen here, like why should you get all these benefits? Um, why should you be able to have these type of jobs? And you're gonna realize why by the end of this video.
When it allows people who do not have legal status to become the enforcers of our laws.
Yeah, and you know what? That's an incredible point. And think of this concept too. I took the test in 1997. One of the questions I had to answer is, am I a citizen? What else are they going to remove from the standards of these tests? Are they going to remove the required education level that you're supposed to have? If so, think of the thousands and thousands of Illinois folks that took these tests that did not get on the job because of that. Now they're pulling out standards and they're going to hire people that aren't even residents or citizens of the United States. And you're passing over all all these Illinois people that could have been on these jobs, could have filled these positions, and we would not have a hole in our judicial system or in our police departments for lack of officers.
Yeah, and
this is another slap in Illinois people's face.
Yeah, and the statement that I think actually sums up the Republican position in a very interesting way comes from the bill's sponsor, who's a Democrat. Her name is Barbara Hernandez. And she said that this bill is just a natural progression of things because undocumented immigrants can be healthcare workers, they could be military members, so they should be allowed to be police officers too. And Republicans have all along been saying, okay, they could be healthcare workers, now they're going to be police officers, maybe they'll be teachers eventually, they will gain the right to vote, and they're going to vote Democrat.
And that's the move. That's the standard of this move right now is to bring as many people in this country in as you possibly can, give them this type of opportunity, but then point back at the party that did it for you. And next thing you know, everyone's just going to vote Democrat.
Yeah.
Okay, so now they're doing it from a right wing perspective, but I'm doing this on how it's going to affect black people, right? So they're going to use these migrants as a class to undermine black people. And on top of that, what they're going to do, they're going to give these migrants incentives to do so, right? And as you said, they're doing all this so they can vote Democrat. Who is the largest voting bloc for the Democratic Party? Black people. And they've known lately that black people has been saying, hey, we've been voting for Democrats all these years and we want something for our vote now. Well, what are you going to give us for our vote? So what they're going to do, instead of give us something for our vote, they're going to be like, well, we got this other class of people. We have these migrants that can vote for us to replace y'all. So we won't have to worry about y'all. We can continue to give y'all nothing. And we just want to have these migrants take y'all place. We're going to use these as a buffer class. We're going to prop them up. We're going to give them all these incentives. And they're going to continue to undermine you. And hey, we won't even need you at all. So that's how this is going to go. That's what this is, a start of right now. You're seeing the beginning stages of this, and this is exactly where it's going to go. But yeah, so I just wanted to give my 2 cents on this. But I'm about to call it a night. Like I said, I won't be on her long, but I will have some more videos and be doing some more topics. But I just wanted to cover this briefly. If you like the content, please give it a subscribe. Please give it a like. And y'all have a good night. Peace.